of joy. Welcome back to Totally Artastic Thursdays. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be focusing on perspective. We're going to be talking about 1-point perspective, a vanishing point, and landscapes. So we already kind of had some practice with our landscapes by making viewfinders. But this art project that we're going to be doing today is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be structured around our imaginations instead of being structured around what we're seeing in front of us. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of paper. If you have unlined paper or plain paper, that is going to be best for this project, but if you don't have that and you just have lined paper, that's going to work just fine too. You're going to need a pencil, hopefully with an eraser. And then you're going to need a ruler or some sort of straight edge will work. So we're gonna pick our point that everything is going to converge to. And what we're gonna be making is we're gonna be making a setting sun on some cornrows. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to pick where we want our horizon line to be, which is where the land stops and the sky begins. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher up. And you guys can see my paper is long ways here. So I'm gonna take my ruler or my straight edge, whatever I have, I'm gonna try to make it straight. And you can see I'm a little bit higher than halfway. And I'm going to make a straight line. Okay, now that I have my straight line here, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my vanishing point. My vanishing point is just going to be a dot on my horizon line that everything is going to converge to. This is what's gonna make it look realistic. So I'm gonna put mine, I don't know, right here. So you guys can see I have my horizon line and then I have my vanishing point on my horizon line. Doesn't exactly matter where you wanna put it, you can put it wherever you'd like. Okay, now I want everything to go around my sun because my sun is gonna be my main subject. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to make a big semicircle in the middle on top of my vanishing point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of lines that go out of my vanishing point. This is what's going to give it perspective and make it look realistic. So I'm going to go up and down because I want to have cornrows that go down and I want to have sun rays that go up, that all come out of my vanishing point. Now, when you guys are making these lines, we're going to be erasing some of them. So I want you guys to hold your pencil nice and loose. Don't hold it really, really tight. Hold it nice and loose so that you're able to make some light lines that you can erase without having to see them afterwards, okay? So if you need to practice this on another piece of paper before you start on these, go ahead and practice. Now, when we're making our lines, all of the lines that we make need to touch our vanishing point. That's the only rule. Everything when you're doing with 1-point perspective, all the lines you're making are going to touch your vanishing point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a few straight lines. Make sure you're using a ruler or a straight edge. And I'm touching my vanishing point and I'm just making a straight line down. Okay, so I'm just going to make a few of these that are going to go around. Always touching my vanishing point. Always using a straight edge. All right. So now all of my lines, I've made all my cornrows, all of my lines lead back to my vanishing point here. Now I'm gonna make my sun rays. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for my cornrows around here, except I'm gonna do it for the sky. And I'm probably gonna make a little bit less rays than I did have cornrows. So now I have my sun rays up here, I have my corners down here. Now it's starting to look a little confusing because I'm losing where my horizon line is because I have so many lines. So I want you guys to go ahead and take your eraser and you're gonna erase the lines that are inside of your sun. You can also go back over your horizon line a little bit darker if that helps you. I'm gonna go over mine again just so I don't get confused. All right, so now I have my sun rays, I have my sun, I have my little rows of corn. So now, in order to make it look even more like a sky, we're gonna add some clouds into our sky. So there are 2 ways to make clouds that look stylized. So stylized means that it's in a certain style because clouds don't really have sharp edges. We just imagine that they do, and they have these shapes that they don't really have. So I'm going to show you two ways. The first way is you're doing a cloud line, that loopy line, all the way around. So you can make a cloud like this, or you can make a cloud that's even more stylized, which means that it has a flat bottom and has the curves on top. This one's my favorite kind of cloud. It has a flat line, and then you make some curves of different sizes on top. So you're gonna do a few of these clouds, different sizes. You can do whichever cloud you liked better, either the curvy all the way around or with the flat line. Don't add too many, just a few. Okay, and then if any of your lines crossed over into your clouds, you're gonna erase those. All right, so now you have clouds, you have a sun, you have sun rays, you have your cornrows. And now what's left to do is you're going to color it. I'm gonna show you guys my finished colored landscape at the end of this video, so you guys can kind of see what I did and get some ideas from that. But please feel free to do your own thing. If you want to put a scarecrow in your corn, you guys can do that. If you want to draw, you know, little piggies in there, go for it. Just get really creative with how you do that. So as you guys can see, I finished outlining my rays and my sun. So now when you guys are coloring this, I want you guys to also think about perspective, in a sense that when you're looking at something, the further something is away from you, the smaller it's going to be. And the bigger things are to you, the closer things are to you, the bigger they're going to seem. So if you're drawing little bushels or the tops of corn or something like that, back here, it's going to look so tiny. You're not even going to tell what it is. It's so small. And then as you guys get up closer, it's going to be nice and big. You're going to be able to see big old bushels or leaves or whatever it is that you're drawing on your corn mazes. And then it's going to get really small. Okay? So I'm going to time lapse this again, and I will see you guys at the end.